Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Expat Globetrotter, and I'm still here, your host, Dave Wally. So in this video we're going to talk about my leg, to catch everybody up. I know I've been getting a lot of comments and emails asking me how I'm doing after my leg injury, so I'm going to cover that for you. Then we're going to talk about my plans, what's coming up. Then we're going to talk a little bit about Sri Lanka in general. And then the main topic of this is the killing of tourism in Sri Lanka, which is the title of it. There's a lot going on here, and I think everybody needs to know about it. That being said, I just want to clarify one thing. Throughout my travels, I've just tried to provide the true and honest opinion of what I see in the places that I've gone. I'm not trying to be mean or I'm not trying to oversell. I'm just trying to provide you with the truest opinion that I think most of you, like me, would encounter. So without further ado, let's go on with the information about my leg. I'm still on my crutch. I've had a lot of people asking, how I'm doing, and thank you for caring enough to ask and email. And it's been a horrible road. My leg today doesn't feel much better than it did when 2 days after it happened. The healing process is incredible. I've ripped every muscle in my calf and in my hamstring. And the pain at times is excruciating. I'm supposed to be staying off my leg 100%, like with it in a bed, but it's just impossible to do. So I do the best I can. I use my cane, and I'm trying to get better. But it's going to be a long process. Gosh darn it! All right, now let's talk about Sri Lanka in general. Gosh darn. There are so many wonderful people here. You meet some really good locals, and there's a lot of tourists at this point. Well, I should not say a lot of tourists. There's a few tourists because this is low season. Actually, today is November 1st, and it's supposed to be the beginning of high season. Now, I'm going to get into this tourism later, so I'm not going to comment too much on it. But in general, Sri Lanka, I hoped to stay here for a longer period of time. But as I said, we'll discuss more in the other issues why I am not. And next, we'll talk about the up and coming. Because I haven't been recording videos, don't mean that I've been sitting back on my fist and my thumb. I've got a lot of information for you. I've devised a lot of tools that will help you to determine where you want to go. I've got a lot of data for you on Southeast Asia and South America that will hopefully help you make decisions on where's the best place for you to go. Already, I've got my interactive map on where Americans can go visa-free. So that kind of plays a part too, as well as I have my e-travel document that's available. I'm constantly hoping that the information that I provide helps your decisions. All right, so my plans from here, actually this is my last full day in Sri Lanka, and we're going to get into why later. This is, like I said, November 1st. I arrived on September 24th on a 60-day visa. I'm leaving early. I'm going to Hua Hin, Thailand, and we'll get into why a little bit further in the video. All right, so in general here in Sri Lanka, the cost of living is really low, and I'm going to put a chart behind me here that's going to help you see the difference between where you're at and other countries, that how Sri Lanka ranks in the cost of living. The thing that I have found about it, the places to stay are very inexpensive. I mean, I'm staying in Negombo, which is where the airport is, about an hour north of Colombo, which is, they call it the Colombo Airport, but it's still about an hour north of there. Negombo is a beachside town, as you can see. Brown sand is, it's a beautiful place. But at the same time, food, when you're staying in a beachside area, food is more expensive. So because I've been injured, I wind up doing a lot of not grab, because the Uber Eats, we have that here, and we have Pick Me, which is similar to Uber. And for rides, I typically use Pick Me whenever available. You can get food delivered. There are American restaurants here like Popeyes. I use it a lot, and it's pretty expensive. I spend anywhere from $12 to $17 for a meal to be delivered, which is atrocious. And then there are local vendors as well but it's hard. The menus that they post, you have no idea what the hell you're ordering on the app, or when you go to a restaurant here. I mean, they just name the item on a list with no description or ingredients or how it's cooked and what you can expect when you get it. So it's really difficult to understand what chicken deviled is. That's with 2 L's. I mean, you have no idea what it consists of. Then you got to go to Google and look it up and get some sort of an idea on what that food is. So, it's very difficult to understand. So I wind up eating Western food a lot because I have no idea what I'm ordering if I order the local food. The way of life here is subpar to most places. I feel very bad for so many people here that are hardworking people. I want to introduce you to my friend Sean. He's one of these guys that walk up and down the beach with his wares. He sells bracelets and necklaces and etc. And it's very difficult, a very difficult way of life, which, I care about these guys and hoping that things will improve better for them. But as I've already told him, what's happening with the visa situation here and the scammer situation here, unfortunately, he's looking upon hard times to come, which sucks, because when you find a person like this that you care about, who's a good person, you hate to see that their future is blinded. Recently, they elected a new president here, and everybody was so happy that they elected this guy. Well, it kind of reminds me of the Donald Trump in America that so many people want to elect, and he has no idea what is going on with tariffs, which are going to screw everybody badly. And this guy seems to have no idea, the president here now seems to have no idea what's going on with tourism, because he's totally screwed it all up already. All right, so let's get into the title, The Killer of Tourism here in Sri Lanka. So if you remember my video when I was in Thailand, Koh Samui, Taling Beach, you'll recall how excited I was about coming to Sri Lanka. A friend of mine was going to be here, and our plans were to rent a Tuk Tuk and travel all around the island here. Me and him and his girlfriend, and just have a grand old time. Well, then I hurt my leg and that screwed everything up. But all right, so I planned on when I came here, there was a division between a system that had crashed here in Sri Lanka, a visa system that had crashed, and before the new system started. So when I came in, I got a 2-month visa for $75. They were advertising a 60-day visa on arrival for free, but I don't know what happened to that. So anyway, just so you know the story, what's going on here, all the old visas that used to exist are gone. They had a 6-month visa, 6 months straight for Americans. You could stay 6 months. It was like maybe $100. They had I think it was a 2-year visa and a 5-year visa. The 5-year visa, you had to leave every 6 months and come back. And then they had the My Home, that you had to prove you had $15,000 in savings. And I think it was a 2-year renewable. Now all you can do is renew that. You cannot initiate a new one. And then they had the investor visa. I think that called for a $250,000 investment, for the real wealthy people. And it was like a 5-year plan. Now you cannot no longer get one of those new, but you can renew an existing one according to what I read. So for myself, when I came in, after I got here, they listed the new visa rules, and it said that, all right, you come in on a 30-day visa free. The next step is to get a 60-day visa, which was, I think that one was supposed to be free. And then you could apply for 2 consecutive 90-day visas. And so you would be here 270 days. I thought, great, I'm okay with that as well. But so I spent 2 days at immigration, 2 different days, and which cost me a lot of money to get there and have somebody with me that could translate and everything for me. So I wind up, in the end, they issued him, my communication guy that spent my money without even asking me, a 60-day visa, and it said no further visas extensions will be allowed. So, the 60-day extension, the 90-day extension, and the next 90-day extension that they have posted on their website, it doesn't exist. So, I'm just so frustrated. All right, and then on top of that, so when I thought that I was going to be able to get 270-day extension here, I was looking at, all right, I'm going to rent a place off of the booking agencies like booking.com and that screwed up Airbnb that I don't use anyway because they're so expensive. And I found a couple of places. I'm going to just turn the camera here real quick. That high rise over there is Ocean Breeze. And I was looking on Facebook. I know, yeah, Facebook is, yeah, you take your own money in your own hands. But I encountered 2 different individuals that turned out just to be nothing but scammers. So, that was very, very disappointing with me. I know how to ask the right questions. Are you the owner? Are you a real estate individual? Okay, so what's going to transpire from here is this, and I decide. I don't say I decide, but I tell them, I'm going to need you to provide your selfie with your passport and then another selfie with your deed if you're the owner. And so I can take it to the hotel establishment management company and say, is this guy the real guy? So I'm not sending money to some fako, you know what I'm saying? And both times they just screeched out at me that I was some sort of a-hole, or I don't want to rent to you, you're, blah, blah, just because you do your due diligence. And so automatically that they are scammers. Otherwise, they would say, I totally understand, I get it, I'll provide you with what you need. I'm talking about renting for 9 months, actually 10 months, because I still had 1 month left on my current visa. So if I got the extensions that they were supposed to be, I could stay for another 10 months. So, they had no reason to question me, but they did. And then, in my trips to the immigration office, the guy that I thought that I had been entrusted to, Mr. Jack Tuk Tuk, all of a sudden the next day after, we left there, and I said, forget about it. He's coming to me telling me I owe him 20,000 rupees. Yeah, rupees. And I said, well, why is that? That we were told by the assistant controller there that it's free. The 60-day visa is free for Americans. And all of a sudden he's trying to get 20,000 rupees out of me. He said, I already paid 15,000 when we were there. I said, well, you never came to me and told me. You should have came to me and told me you were spending my money. So that got into a total fiasco. I mean, I have ran in the unfortunate thing. The visas are all screwed up. And unfortunately for this honest people like this man here, Sean, there's way too many scammers. So this is going to equate to this. Because the visas are now all up, people are not going to be able to come here like they plan to. And the scammers are going to keep building and building and building because they're getting so, they need money, so people are going to start reverting to trying to scam, and it's just going to compile into a big snowball of shit. So it's bad, the scammers and the government need to learn. What they're doing is killing tourism here in Sri Lanka. All right, guys, so as I've said, I'm not trying to hurt anybody by this. In fact, that I hope that my honesty will help Sri Lanka. It will advise the government that by, getting rid of all those visas that were so attractive to so many people for so long isn't going to help. I mean, if you're a short-term and you come here and you get the 30-day visa on arrival or free, whatever it's supposed to be, who knows? I mean, you're okay. And I'm hoping this is a message to the scammers to tell them that you're just hurting yourself. You're hurting your country. Because people like me, I'll never come back here based upon what's happened to me in the visa world and in the scammer world. I'm done. I'm leaving 3 weeks early because of it. I'm done. So to you people, I pray that you take this to heart. And every tourist that comes in here, you treat them with kid gloves, you love them, and don't scam them. Don't even try to, because when you do, you're screwing yourself. You're screwing your neighbors. You're screwing your friends. Till next time, I'll see you again.